Everybody. This is the first of a set of singing basics sessions, which we decided to organise in response to a survey we put out to music leads in the autumn term last year, looking at what training, really in response to the model music curriculum, we would have out there. And singing, Kate, I did a little bit of word art on all the various responses that came in, for everything to notation, to composing, to instrumental skills, and singing was by far the biggest thing that came back as a request from people. So we decided what we would do is, rather than just have one CPD session, we would have a regular forum, and it not to be an inclusive, not to be not to become something that was exclusive to people, in that they felt it was an elite singing group for people who run choirs. This is a singing basics session for people who may have been left with their school choir and are terrified by that concept, or just people who love running the school choir but just want some top tips. I'm absolutely delighted that Kathy Lamb from Lichfield Cathedral School and the Music Share programme has joined us. Kathy was here just before and she had terrible tech problems, and the thought of Paul and I leading a singing basics session terrified everyone else, Kathy. So we're delighted that you've come back in and you've got some signal. I have put you on mute just for 1 second, Kathy, while I do this first bit, but can I just ask people to do, so obviously we've got the usual Teams etiquette, muting yourselves, put your hands up, and we'll just have a little test with this one. I've done very little except talk about the new National Plan for Music Education, which dropped very early on Saturday morning. Can I just have a quick sense check? Can you put up your virtual hand if you've heard of the new National Plan for Music Education, or even better yet, you've read it? Oh, that's interesting. Most people. Lovely. Great. I'm delighted that Tracy and Paul have seen that there's a new National Plan for Music Education, given it governs what we do from on a day-to-day basis. But yes, that's lovely. So yeah, really good. It's just nice to sense check. I'll just give a little flavour. We've sent lots of comms out to schools at the start of the week. It's a hefty document, 3 chapters, about 80 pages. It's ambitious. Schools must be fed up of national policy around music. I mean, in the last year, we've had, on the back of a pandemic, we've had a model music curriculum. We've had an Ofsted inspection framework change. We've had an Ofsted research review. And now we've got a new national plan for music as well. But it's really nice that we have a national plan for our subject. We're one of the only subjects that has a national strategy. And broadly speaking, it's a very positive thing. If you didn't see the messages that came out from the Staffordshire Music Service, the Stoke Music Service, and the Telford Music Service, we will be sending them again. We'll just send that message out again with a summary. But broadly speaking, the plan has 3 goals. So previously there were core and extension roles that needed to be delivered. But that's been changed slightly now. So I'll just read these out to you. So 3 main goals for music education. All children and young people receive a high quality music education in the early years and in schools. Early years is a new focus. That's not been something that's been covered by previous plans. It was previously 5 to 18. So that's a new step. All music educators to work in partnership with children and young people's needs and interests at their heart, and all children and young people with musical interests and talents to have the opportunity to progress their interests and potential, including professionally. So music hubs are going to be at the heart of this plan, and the phrase is that they'll create local ecosystems for music education through partnerships with progression, access and inclusion central to their work. And we're broadly going to be asked to look at partnerships, support for schools, progression, musical development, inclusion and sustainability. So my word, that's a big ambitious brief. The message that we've sent to schools has been very much one of calm. So actually don't suddenly think that you have to panic and do everything immediately right now. Many of you have got so many good steps in place already, and particularly as you've looked to recover things from the pandemic. Please just continue doing a great job and get in touch with us about taking the next steps. So that's the message that we would like to put out. We fully intend to be bidding as the Music Partnership as our group of organisations to carry on leading the Music Hub from 2023. We've taken great steps forward. We already work across 3 local authority areas, so I think we're very well placed to do that. And we've got great schools doing brilliant things with all of you. So that's my quick 2-minute summary of the national plan. Obviously, singing and vocal provision is entwined all the way through it, as we'd expect, as it is in the model music curriculum, and the model music curriculum is also mentioned all the way through. So Kathy, I'm not going to take much more agenda time from you, if that's okay. Usually what I would do is do a big round of introductions and get people to say everything. I'll do it really quickly. If you've joined the call and you've got no idea who I am, you're probably in the wrong call for a start. But I'm John Callister, and I'm head of the music service in Staffordshire. We also have Tracy Hall, who's the music service lead in Telford and Wrekin. We've got apologies from Ruth Steele. She's busy doing Songbirds concerts in Stoke today, so she sent apologies, would love to be with us, but she can't. And we've also got Paul Hughes, who's our community and learning head in Staffordshire for the music service. And Kathy, I will get you to introduce yourself because you're leading the rest of the session. So can you unmute and do that for us, please?
I certainly can. I can only apologise. I've got someone in IT testing the broadband speeds and doing all sorts of things on my laptop at the moment, which I can see, and I'm actually on my phone. So you're all tiny, but thank goodness for phones. So I'm hoping what I might just need, John and Paul, and Josie, anyone, just help me if people have got hands up and things, because I can't see. And just tell me if you can't, because I was hoping I'd be able to see what I'm writing, and I'm not that good at the old thing. So anyway, I'm Kathy. It's epic to see you all here. I think we're all sort of clawing to the end of term, aren't we? So well done, keep going. So I run Music Share, which is a big singing schools programme, and we are delighted to be funded by the Music Partnership. And I'm thrilled that this is the first of our Singing Basics series. And from the sort of the feedback from that questionnaire has been very much start from absolute scratch. So I am taking that at face value. So this is simply a session on chants, so speaking chants, so that we can look at crotchet and quaver rhythms, very, very, very base level, which is great because that's exactly what the kids need. And also then 2-note songs. Now, actually, I come from a cathedral music background, and I think a lot of us do lots of complicated songs with our kids. And I have to say, when I first sort of heard about these very simple songs, I thought, oh no, they're really boring, they're old-fashioned, da 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 da. But I've done huge amounts of this year in rebuilding my choirs, and I have to say I'm completely blown away by the effect it's had on my young people's singing. So I think the key is that although this sounds like it's a very base level session, those of you who are non-musicians, I'm hoping this will be very helpful. Those of you who are musicians, actually, I cannot stress enough how important this is, because this is musical mastery. I think so often with musicians we expect to be able to do things really, really quickly, and that's really great that we can sing a song very quickly with our kids. But actually, what is it that we are teaching them at a basic level, so that when we get to the higher levels, that we've actually mastered things like how do we read music, how do we do these things? And I think this is the way forward. So I want to start this session, really. I'm going to teach this session like I would be teaching a group of students, okay? So I want you to participate like you're my class, okay? The great thing is you're all on mute. You don't have to be shy, okay? And if you've not got a video, you don't have to, you can do whatever you like, dance around the room, okay? So we're going to start with a chant, and this is called Lemon Lime, okay? I hope you can see on the board we have 2 hearts, okay? And I would like you, all right, one's bigger than the other. I'll ask you about that in a minute. I would like you, when I point to the hearts, okay, I would like you to tap your knees at the same time, okay? So we're going to go. Ready, steady, off we go. Lemon lime, keep in line, keep it neat, feel the beat. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady. Go, go, go. Okay? So we're going to do it again. Are you ready? Ready, steady. Off you go. Lemon lime. Keep in time. Keep it neat. Feel the beat. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady. Go, go, go. Okay, right, fantastic. Now, anyone feeling brave enough to unmute and say, why have we got two hearts here? Any idea what we're doing? Paul, help me here. I can't see if anyone's being brave. Or just unmute and shout at me.
Hello, it's because it's the pulse, it's the beat.
Fabulous, it absolutely is. And hearts are quite good for that. But actually, for lemon and lime, you could have a lemon and another lemon. Okay, all right. Now, what I would like to do this time is we're going to keep our pulse, okay? But I would like you to copy, all right? So when I do this, it's me. When I do this, it's you. Are you ready? So we get lemon, lime, keep in time. Lemon, lime, keep in time. Keep it neat, feel the beat. Keep it neat, feel the beat. Not too fast, not too slow. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady, go, go, go. Keep it steady, go, go, go. Now, I would like us all to have a go at doing that. Everybody, okay? The whole way through. Let's see how your brains are going. Now, actually, if you're like me, I'm getting old, okay? And my grey matter doesn't keep this very much in our heads. Repeat, repeat, repeat. The more you do that, the more it will stay in the kids' mind. Any actions you could do, you might start doing this. Anything to keep that pulse, doesn't matter. And make it fun. That's the crucial thing. Okay, are you ready? Let's see if we can remember. Ready, steady, off we go. Lemon, lime, keep in time. Keep it neat, feel the beat. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady, go, go, go. Okay, now, you might actually think you're bored of this by now, but I can promise you the kids will not be, okay? As much as you think they will be, they will not be. They will love it, okay? So just get it in their heads. Now, I'm going to ask some questions. So again, feel free to fire in. So, lemon. How many sounds on this heart do we have for the word lemon? Can anyone tell me? Be brave. Go, Paul. Two. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got two, all right, on our first heart. Now, I'm going to rub out my hearts. I hope you can see this. Tell me if you can't. So, for lemon, okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to do it with our arms. Can you do, when we've got two sounds on our heartbeat, can you all go like this? Lemon. Ready? Go. Lemon. Very good. Now we've got lime. How many sounds on that beat do we have? We've got one. Fantastic. Okay, so for one sound, can you all just do this? Okay, so we're going to go lemon, lime. You ready? Go. Lemon, lime. Fantastic. Then what about keeping? I can't see many screens, but put fingers up. Some of you all go first. Is it two or one sound? It's two sounds. Very good. Keeping. You ready? So we're going to go keep in. Time. We're all teachers. We know what we're doing. That's one. So we go time. Okay. Then we get not two. So that's two. So we're going to go not too fast. Then not too slow. Very good. And then this is the fun bit. What about keep it? That's two. So we get keep it. Then we get steady. So we get another two. And then we get go, go. So we get another two. And then the last one is go. Okay. So these are called our rhythm arms. Okay. So we've just done our lovely heartbeat for our pulse. Okay. But we are now looking at working out the rhythm. And a really nice way of saying what the rhythm is, opposed to the pulse, is the rhythm is the way the words go. It's as simple as that. Okay, so let's just go through the whole song now. This time, we're going to do our rhythm arms. Okay, so I hope you're all ready. I hope you're feeling fit. I'm exhausted already. Are you ready? So we get lemon, lime, keep in time. Keep it neat, feel the beat. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady, go, go, go. That's the catch. Okay, let's do it one more time for luck. Here we go. Ready? And lemon, lime, keep in time. Feel the beat, feel the, got it wrong. Not too fast, not too slow. Keep it steady, go, go, go. Fabulous. All right, so good news, by the way, you don't have to write these ones down. I'm going to send you the 4 we're working on today. Okay, so you've got a PDF with all. So, cool. Now then, if I wanted to then write that on the board, we could do this in what we call rhythm stick notation. Okay, so you've already been brilliant, and we can again ask the kids again. Let's go through it again. So what do we do? Lemon. Okay, our first one, we did our lemon. We had 2 sounds. If I've got 2 sounds, I've just managed to write on my dress. If we've got 2 sounds, okay, then I'm going to write this. Can you all see that? Just about. Okay, so now, so for our lemon, we've got our lovely 2 sounds like this. Okay, and then the next one is lime, 1 single sound, and that's going to look like that. Can you see that? Okay, then we've got keeping time. Okay, I'm going to go above. We're going not too fast because we know that they're saying not too fast. So we get lemon, lime, keeping time. Keep it neat, feel the beat. Okay, and then we get not too fast, not too slow, but at the end, so I'm going to have to draw it on here to keep it on the screen. We get keep it steady, go, go, go. Can you see that one? Okay, fab. So we've now got what looks like a piece of music. All right, now then, if we got 2 sounds, yes, we've got lemon or keep it or all of these, but we could call it TT. All right, TT. All right, so what I would like you to do, hopefully you can see, I'm going to point to rhythm. When we get these, we're going to say TT. When we get a single line, the long one, that's a tar. All right, so let's see if we can now read it in T's and tars. Okay, ready, steady, off we go. T, T, tar, 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 T, 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 tar. Okay, brilliant. So basically, a tar is double the length of the TT. Yeah, so basically 1 tar equals 2 TTs. So a T is half a tar. All right, hope that makes sense. Now, there are lots and lots of different ways we can call these. So some people like to call the TT coffee, yeah? And confusingly, the TT that I spell is T-I-T-I and the tar is T-A. Okay, but some people like to use rhythm names. So you might say coffee and then just T, just to confuse you because I've just talked about TT. Okay, so, or you might think about animal names or, you know, tiger, cat. Yeah, so you can get your kids to come up with some ideas of what they might call of these different rhythms. Okay, because it's really fun. And then they can sight read anything that's got T's and tars. Now, so basically, if I was teaching this to a group of kids, I'd probably have done the chant and not much more in the first session. Then I'd come back and then we might do the rhythm arms the next time. Yeah. And then we might start to look at how it looks on the page. Basically, it's like you would with mastery. You build it up. Okay. So when you feel that they've got the concept subconsciously, you might then say, right, well, we've looked at that. I'm just going to put some note heads on these. Oh, does that start to look more like the music you might have seen on a sheet? Yes, it does. Okay, so we've got the note heads. Suddenly, what sometimes freaks people out, lovely bits of music, is not too stressful because we know that that's coffee, tea, etc. Okay, now they do have posh names, all right? They're not very helpful, okay? In English, in Britain, we call them crotchets and quavers. Okay, so a TT one of these, one of the T's is called a quaver, spelt like the crisps. Okay, and then the long one is called a crotchet. Okay, so 2 quavers equals 1 crotchet. All right, and you can see that's why we beam them together. Those 2 quavers, we join them together because they add up to 1 crotchet. Okay, so I don't think they're very helpful names. In America, they call them different things, which actually give you a sense of how it works. Because once you get into music a bit more complicatedly, often we say that crotchet equals 1. That's actually not wonderfully helpful. What you kind of need to know is how they all relate to each other. Yeah, so yes, in some contexts, crotchet equals 1 and a quaver therefore equals half. But really what you want to know is that 2 quavers equals 1 crotchet in whatever time signature we are in. Okay, so that's lemon lime, which is really cool. Now, what we could then do, so this is one simple song. Look, we've already got 25 minutes into our session and we have got one basically simple, really simple chant. Okay, and we can use this to our advantage. There are still many things we can do with it. Okay, so we might divide our class into 2 groups. Okay, we might get one group's going to stomp, they're going to be the beat. Okay, and then the other half of the class, they're going to be the rhythm. Okay, so they might do their rhythm arms, or they might come up with some silly actions. Okay, so that's one thing you could do. One thing we could do is actually get the kids to write the notation on the board. You could get a kid to point the notation on the board, and this is a really brilliant way of very quickly figuring out whether the kids have got the concept, because actually shy kids in most classes want to come up and point at the hearts. Yeah, it's as amazing how much they want to do it. It's so good. Often the quiet kid you don't expect to get up and do this will do this. Okay, so it's a really easy way of you grasping whether they've figured it out. Do they understand the difference between pulse and rhythm? Okay, so that's one thing you could do. You could do so much. Can you get it onto instruments? Yeah. Can you get some drum beats going? Yeah. Could you get some glockenspiels out to do the rhythm just on one note? Yeah. Start to introduce it. Start to join the dots up, which is really good. Okay. As I say, you could get them to have lemons. You could actually have 2 people sitting on chairs. One could be the big beat, big lemon, and the other one the little lemon, you know, and basically point. You know, you could get them stand up when it's their beat. All sorts of things just with this one chant to really reinforce what our learning is about crotchets, quavers. Okay, are there any questions so far? Is everyone happy? Think we're happy? Brilliant. Okay, so let me just find my notes. Okay, so we're going to now sight read, hopefully, the rhythm of another chant. Okay, now you've learnt the concepts, right? So let's have a little go. Right, so we're going to go. Can you see all of those? Hooray! Brilliant. Okay, so let's do them with our rhythm arms. Okay, and with this, I tell you one other thing that really used to annoy me when I first did some of this and I learned about these simple chants. This ready, steady, off we go, I thought was rather patronizing and rather kind of simplified. But again, your kids really want to do that. It's amazing how much they think, I want to be the teacher, I want to take charge, and I'm going to do the ready, steady, off we go. So actually, I found that a concept I didn't really like very much is really good, and it's a really good way of reinforcing the pulse. One thing to say is when you're teaching these songs, when you're teaching any song, I hope you can feel that I've got a constant pulse in how I'm doing it. So when you're teaching, so when I did lemon, lime, keep in time, I didn't then stop and go, your turn now. I just kept it going. Lemon, lime, keep in time. Lemon, lime, keep in time. Yeah. So it's about having that internal metronome. Yeah. That pulse going inside you. So whenever you're teaching, that's really, really crucial. Whatever you're doing, instrumental, anything. So because I never forget, I went to when my son, who's sitting in the corner of the classroom here, when he was younger and he was a baby, I went to like a music train class, and they go 1, 2, 3. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And there was no sense of, wow, where's our pulse? And if we're going to start doing ensembles and choirs and all these things that we want to be doing in our schools, you have to get that internal pulse with everybody. So you've got to start a piece together. So we need to know what you're in. So think about it. How fast do I want to go? I might want to go lemon, lime, keep in time, not too fast, not too slow, yeah? So really, really get used to that. Right, we're going to start with this. You ready? So I'm going to say, ready, steady, off we go. T, 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 ta. 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 Amazing. Right. Someone tell me, what do they notice about these 4 lines? Go on, Paul.
Ready, steady, off we go.
Oh, fantastic. Good spot. Absolutely. It is the rhythm of ready, steady, off we go. Perfect. Anything else? 4 lines?
It's a pattern,
It is a pattern.
a repeating pattern.
Repeating pattern.
It could almost be an ostinato.
Ah, that's a great word. We love it. Okay. If anyone's ever come across, there's a brilliant YouTube video because an ostinato is a pattern that repeats. An ostinato is a pattern that repeats. It's great. It's great. Great song. So yes, absolutely. It's an ostinato. Quite. Okay. Which is a pattern that goes over and over and over. So we've got 4 lines of music here. A musical sentence is called a phrase. These are 4 phrases. Okay. And they are exactly the same. Now, when you do composition, which you could introduce right at the beginning of schooling, yeah, we've just learned T's and tar, 2 really simple rhythms. Can they put them together? Do we want a TT here? Do we want a tar there? Do we want a TT here? And then you can show them, look, if you decide you're going to go TT tar, TT tar, well, we could then do that for the whole 4 lines of song, couldn't we? Yeah. Really, really simple. You can see how a simple structure makes a really good, strong bit of music. Okay, so I'm just going to teach you the rest of this chant and then we're going to move on in a minute. So this one goes like this. Engine, engine number 9. Engine, engine number 9. Going down the railway line. Going down the railway line. See it sparkle, see it shine, see it sparkle, see it shine. Engine, engine number 9. Engine, engine number 9. Fabulous. Now, so that's a really, really nice one. And you could do things like engine, engine number 9. We get our pulse with our arms. Yeah. We could we go around in the room like a conga, like a steam train? Why not? Okay, lots and lots and lots of things like that. Now, what we haven't talked about is what we then do with our voices when we are doing these chants. Can we use the chants to start to get different inflections in our voices? Shall we do it? Hi, engine, engine number 9. Engine, engine number 9. Going down the railway line. Yeah, you can really play around. This is brilliant because actually the more kids are able to do different things with their voices, the easier it then is to connect that into the singing voice. Okay, so lots. Are we going to do it quietly? Are we going to do it? Are we going to start using the terminology? Are we going to do it piano? Are we going to do it forte? Yeah, all these musical terms in the national curriculum. Okay, you can introduce them within chant. Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to say is kids love these, and there are hundreds of them. Okay, absolutely loads. And you can see how much teaching material there is just within simple chants. Okay, so that is 2 lovely chants. Now, what I'm going to do, I've sent to John 2 things. So there's a PDF with the songs I'm teaching you today. Okay, and then there's also just a list of a few things to go to. So we've got my Music Share website, which has a really good glossary of places to go, you know, websites, useful resources. We have some of our own. There's Jolly Music, which I will talk about in a minute. But anyway, so if you want places to find more songs, you'll be sent a list of where to find them. Okay. One of my favorite ones is something I just happened to find on a thing, which was, I had a loose tooth, a wiggly jiggly loose tooth. I had a loose tooth hanging by a thread. And it's really fun. So I could spend hours just on those. I'm not going to, but there we go. All right. So now then, we've done rhythm. What's next? Bless you, lovely. We have now done, we're now going to look at, we needed to see, only 9. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we have got, it's lovely having the kids, isn't it, at the same time? Bless. So, Joshy, upstairs is a toilet. Go and find it. Okay. So, sorry, everybody. So, pitch. Okay, what do we mean by pitch, everybody? Any idea? Be brave. Paul. High and low.
High and low.
Okay. High and low. Very good. Now, it's funny. It's a funny thing. Obviously, kids need to be able to identify high and low, but it's so nuanced. It's one of those things we often go, "Hi!" Is that, you know? Here. What's that? Oh, down here. What's that? What actually, if you hear kids singing in the playground, very, very often, one of the first things you hear kids go is na 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 na. Okay. Now that na 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 na, that interval there is a very natural interval. Okay, an interval is the distance between 2 notes. Now, if you think about it in nature, generally, cuckoo, 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 yeah, it's a really natural sound. So we take that sound and we're going to use that, and basically we're going to find some songs based on that. So if you're a non-musician, I'm just going to show you a little thing about pitch in terms of where we want kids to be singing. So generally speaking, young voices, obviously the larynx is smaller than ours, all right? So we need to be very, very careful that we're not choosing songs that are ultimately too low or too high for the children we're working with. Okay, now that's really hard if you're a non-music specialist. Really hard to know, how do I deal with that one? Okay, so what I would recommend is, firstly, if you have a piano or a keyboard, okay, I've just got one here. Here's one I made earlier. Okay, here, if you look, you've got 2 black notes and then 3 black notes. Normally, in the middle of a piano or a keyboard, we have what we call the middle C. Okay, so middle C is a good sort of indicating note. All right, about the bottom end of most primary kids' range. Okay, range being their lowest note to their highest note. Okay, now, Josh, could you just close the door for me really, really thoroughly? So basically, middle C is a good thing. If you go up from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we get to a G. Okay, G is a really good note for a lot of these songs that we're going to sing. Okay, so G, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 down to 3 is a ni-no, 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 ni-no. Okay. On a recorder, that G is third finger. Okay. All right. And then your E is 5 fingers on. So that's quite a good way of finding a note. And I would highly recommend, or you can buy things called tuning forks or pitch pipes. Even if you're a non-specialist, I would highly recommend investing in something like that or getting hold of a school keyboard, because if you can get them in the right pitch range, it's a really, really good thing. Okay, so there's our G, and I'm going to teach you a song. Right, so it goes like this. Seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground. Okay, I'm going to sing it again. This time, would you tap the pulse for me? Okay, pulse or beat, same thing. Ready, steady, off we go. Seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground. Right, this time I'd like you to have a go. You ready? Ready, steady, off you go after me. Seesaw up and down, seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground, in the air and on the ground. Okay, now let's try that again all the way through. Ready? Ready, steady, off we go. Seesaw up and down, on the air and on the ground. Okay, in the air and on the ground. Can't be on the air, can you? So someone tell me, automatically, what are you noticing about what I'm physically doing and the pitch? Any idea?
When the pitch goes up, so do your hands, and when the pitch goes down, so do your hands.
Brilliant. It seems like a really simple concept, but absolutely that is what I'm doing. So whenever you're doing actions in 2-note songs, do try and think about how you might shape what you're doing to reflect. Okay, so you could do anything like seesaw up and down, yeah, but I'm still got that same shaping. Okay, so we've obviously got high, low, hello. Now we are going to, what I would do at this point is I would ask them to come up with some actions, maybe different ways, or I might actually get 2 chairs. Okay, 2 chairs, there are 2 beats, and I'm get one of them to stand up and one of them to sit down, and we'll point. So seesaw up and down, you point to each one. Lots and lots of different ways of doing it. Okay, or you could get 2 kids sitting, and the person who's doing the high one has to stand up every time it's theirs. Lots and lots of different ways of doing it. Now, firstly, before we do anything else, who can tell me what is seesaw up and down in terms of our stick notation rhythm arms? Anyone feeling brave to dictate what that's going to look like? Seesaw up and down. Rhythm arms. Fab, Caroline, I can see you. That was amazing. Okay, so we did exactly that. We got seesaw up and down. Okay, amazing. And then we got in the air and on the ground. What are we going to do for that? I can't see very many. Oh, Caroline's off again. Brilliant. Yes, perfect. Kids love working this out. Gold stars, use all your tricks of the trade. Okay, brilliant. So we've got seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground. Fantastic. So this time we're going to sing it, everybody together, and we're going to do it with our rhythm arms, just to recap that. Okay, ready, steady, off we go. Seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground. Amazing. Okay, so 2 notes. Why are we just doing these 2 notes? So not only are they natural, but the more we do these notes, the more easily kids start to find that they find their voice and their tuning. We're not trying to make anything too complicated. It's just nice and comfortable. And actually, having done this quite significantly this year with 1 or 2 kids who really, really struggled to pitch, they are now not struggling at all. Okay, so I have done lots of songs, almost every session I do with my kids choir every week, just 10 minutes of reading and working these out and singing these simple songs. Okay, so what you could then do, so we've got our stick notation, but this time I'm going to draw a line. Okay. Okay, so this time there's the line. We're going to put the high notes above the line and the low notes below the line. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we've got our stick notation. So for C, are we going high or are we going low? Yes. So we're going to C and then saw. Brilliant. Up and down. Obvious. Okay, that's called word painting. Okay, and then we get in the air and not such good word painting because you'd think that would be up on the ground. Okay, so you could do this in like a PowerPoint presentation, and you could have like a picture of a seesaw, couldn't you? And just like where we're going to put it, and they're going to move it, or they could come up and draw it. They can do this physically. Okay, but now they've got some notation to read. So are you ready? Off we go. Seesaw up and down, in the air and on the ground. Lots of other things you can do with this. You could have a masking tape line in the middle of your classroom. Okay, physically get the kids to jump the line. Yeah, so they're going to go down it. See, so yeah, have one side high, one side low. All right, you could do a big line and actually have, you know, those markers you get for sport, the little round ones. You could actually have them either side of the line and put it in the rhythm, so 2 close ones and then one, yeah, so it looks like the TT and the tar jumping around. That's fun. Okay, again, standing up and sitting down. One of the great ones though is, I bet you've all got a parachute. Okay, so get everyone in a circle around your parachute. Okay, and we are going to physically do the parachute with the ups and downs. Yeah, so the whole class is intimately involved in this song. Okay, showing whether we're going up and down, which is really fun. Okay, and then you could do all change, you can make it into a game and do all of that, and then off we go. Okay, so immediately it's just starting to fine tune their ears into this high low, high low. Okay, so what else are we going to do on that one? I think that's probably as far as I'll go on that one. All right, but it's brilliant, and I hope you can see how quick and simple you can make these up yourselves. Yeah, have we got a theme this week? Right, let's make up a simple 2-note song based on the theme. Okay, we love Vikings, yes we do, they were rough but we are too, you know. You know, all of these kind of things, you know, they can really, really have fun with. So simple 2-note song. I'm going to teach you one more. Okay, and then we might just have a little question and answer session after that, if that's all right with you. Okay, so this has one new concept, this one, and I want you to see if you can spot what it is. Okay, so if you could tap the pulse with me, that will be marvelous. Ready, steady, off we go. Old Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree. Old Mr. Woodpecker tapping merrily. Let's do it again. I'm going to sing it. You can join in if you'd like. Okay, ready, steady, off we go. Old Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree. Old Mr. woodpecker tapping merrily. Okay, this time I would like you to see if you can work out whether it's high or low and show me the shape as we go. Ready, steady, off we go. Old Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree. Old Mr. Woodpecker tapping merrily. Fabulous. Okay, so again, get parachute out, get them doing all the games that they're working this out. The rhythm, yeah, you can spend probably a whole hour on this divided into weeks. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of time. So, but there was something new. Anyone notice what that might have been? Any ideas? Paul, can you help me? Is there anybody with a hand up? Oh, Gaynor, go on. I can see you've unmiked.
Silence.
Fab. Absolutely right. Okay. Yeah. Now, so this is a really, really hard concept for kids to understand, that music does have silence, and the silence is as important as the music, because mathematically speaking, it must have length of time exactly like a note. Okay. So this is what we're introducing, called the tar rest. Okay, so you've all learned what tar is. It's the crotchet. All right, this one. Okay, or the stick, single stick, or your rhythm one. Okay, but it is now the tar rest. So the silence must measure the same as the note, but there's no sound. Okay, and that tar rest looks like that. Can you see that? Okay, in very early, very old music, confusingly, a quaver rest looks like this. A T rest looks like a 7. Okay, an old-fashioned crotchet rest is a backward 7, just to make life very confusing. Okay, so if you ever see a backward 7, that's what it is. But basically in music now, even in your stick notation, that is what your crotchet rest will look like, your tar rest. So we've got to try and get kids used to that. Now, I think you can do this in different ways. You could put a sh on it. The difficulty with putting a sh on it is you're actually putting a sound on it, okay? Which kind of defeats the concept of it being a silence. All right, so that's why. Did you see what I was doing when we did, oh, Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree? Oh, yeah, there was an action, yeah, but I didn't actually go, shh, all right? But it was something physical for them. And you could you have like a Mr. Pop-Up puppet? Yeah, so basically, oh, this is Mr. Tar Rest. Woo, here he comes. Oh, Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree. Oh, and you could get the class. They're gonna be the tar rest. Hooray! Yeah, that could be an hour. Just like that. But it's a really, really important concept. So, you know, lots and lots of different ideas. I'm sure you're all inventive, creative teachers about what you might do. One of the great other songs is Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which is not a 2-note song, but row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, yeah, there's the tar rest right in amongst us, all over the place. So again, you can start introducing, right, we're going to learn how's this going to go. So we've worked out a rhythm. Old Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree. Oh, weird. Something's happening. Oh, yes, or not happening, but there's a sort of silence that's measured. Oh, so we're going to put that rest in. Okay, so automatically they start to learn this concept of measured silence, which is really, really useful. So I like that song. It's a good one. Okay, so let's open the floor up. Have anyone got any thoughts or questions? No question is too daft. Okay. As you can see, I've stuck really as I promised, with crotchets, quavers, and high and low. What I will do, if there aren't any questions, is just explain what those high and low notes are actually in musical context, if that's what might be helpful. Okay. But Any questions? Thoughts? Comments?
Kathy, I took over a class, in a year 6 class at one of my schools a few years ago, and they couldn't pitch in year 6, even high and low. And I started to do some of these chants with them, but found them very babyish, obviously, for year 6. They were getting a bit, oh, I'm not doing this again, sir. Oh. So is there any sort of other ideas out there if an older child is struggling with pitch rather than the younger years,
That's a good
for example?
question.
Sorry.
I think you have to. So I've got some slightly funkier ones. I like one that goes down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. It's obviously a bit more complicated in terms of rhythm, but they're quite good. I mean, having only really done this kind of stuff in the last year or so to help the pitch of some of my kids, I have been blown away how this has transformed pitch in a way that nothing else I've ever done has. So although, yeah, I completely understand that the year 6s would probably rather not do it, I think the key is to find ways of making funky what you're doing, what in this concept personally. So I would, can you get them to, it's difficult. It's always hard not being twee, isn't it? Yeah. So you wouldn't like it, right? Okay, like football fans. You got to find something that's gonna grab them. But I genuinely think it's worth sticking with this.
I use some I use some funky backing tracks just to make it a bit different. But I've started doing all this from reception now, all the way through. So now every single year does these for a term.
That's the key to it. But I think it's something I would quite like to try and write some slightly funkier ones for older kids. Basically you start to introduce more pitches quicker with the older ones. So you don't just stick to the 2-note songs, perhaps. You add in the 3, 4, 5s as quickly, 3, 4, 5 notes as quickly as possible, and just sort of just get through it quicker, I guess. But I really, really, it's one of those things. Now I've done it, I wouldn't not do it. So, difficult one. But anything, pitching anything like, sirening, woo, just getting them into their voices, all that kind of thing. Finding songs that they love and know, but that are not in too big a pitch range, that are comfortable for them. All of those kind of things. And I'm sure you've done all of those things a million times. But yeah. Any other questions? I tell you what. So one song. So what I was just going to do was, obviously I told you about middle C, didn't I? And I said, work up and find the G. What I will just tell you is basically if we take a middle C, okay, often you might hear someone talking about singing a scale. All right. Now, if we take a middle C and we go up, we sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In any scale, or a Western classical music one anyway, there are 8 notes. Okay. Now, the scale I've just sung is a major scale. All right. Now, if we go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is where I've started these songs, and they've gone to 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. You can start on any note, okay, and sing a scale. So there's a starting note. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3. Okay, that will always sound the same. So if I start the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, twinkle, twinkle, little star, there's 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5. If I start to hear 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, it will always sound the same. Okay, so you can transpose, you can shift pitch wherever you go. All right, but if you go from what is essentially number 1 to number 5, it will always sound the same. Okay, so when we do these 2-note songs, you're going from 5 to 3. If you've ever heard of the song Do a dear a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. Yeah, that is because there are names for these notes sometimes that we can. One is do, do, two is re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. So you can call them those. All right, there are different names, just to confuse. There are hundreds of names for these different. But what we have been learning today is songs that are do, re, mi, fa, so, mi, so, mi, so, mi. They're called so, mi songs. They start on the note so, and they go to mi. And that can be transposed into any key. All right. So, literally, they also have hand signals. All right. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then go off. But you could learn so, which is basically like a flat hand with a thumb up, and mi is a flat hand there. So sometimes what you could start to introduce is when you're doing these songs, old Mr. Woodpecker sitting in a tree, old Mr. Woodpecker tapping merrily. Okay, they are your actual hand signals which show you what the pitches really are in terms of the scale. Okay, that's starting to get more complicated, but it's quite useful to know that there's a method. So the method is that you start with these so mi songs and then you start to introduce la. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So there's a great song which goes copycat, copycat, sitting on a doormat. Can you see I've just added in that one la note, which starts to add in a third pitch, and eventually you build it up. So if you're interested in this method, it's really brilliant. It's called we call it the Kodaly method, but he was sort of responsible for it, but not particularly necessarily. But we kind of attribute it to this person. There's something called the British Kodaly Association. They do brilliant training. So if you want to do more of this kind of thing, then I could advise that. Right.
Thank you,
That's
Kathy.
pretty much all I've got to say.
Can you also tell people how you have so much energy at this time on a Thursday afternoon? I just don't understand.
I can't, because I've done 3 days of school show this week, so I'm running on empty.
Well, look, a sincere and massive thanks from all of us for having so much energy on a Thursday afternoon. And like I say, this is something that we intend to continue doing regularly. It's really regular this week and next, because the next Singing Basics session is next Thursday. It's just happened that how diaries have fallen around the shows that Kathy's doing. We've got 2 very close together, and then there'll be 1 per half term from now until Kathy tells us she can't do it anymore. So if you have got questions, things you'd like covering, things you didn't want to ask today, just drop our inbox. It's musicservice@entrust-ed.co.uk. Just drop us a message and we will get it answered. We will get something picked up in one of the follow-on sessions. Kathy, can you remember what the focus is for next week? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's like songs for your choir, I think, choosing songs for choir.
Lovely.
Now I've said that, I'm not convinced that that's right, but
I think that sounds right to me as well, Kathy. So we can have that wrong between the both of us if it is. But can I also ask you, pass the word out to your colleagues? There were lots of people that wanted the recording from today, so thank you for being on the session and one of the people that will have been recorded for everyone else. But remember, it's not just for the music leader in school. This is anyone who may, whether anyone at all who may help in running singing provision for children. Well, you see, I can't speak on a Thursday afternoon. I don't know why, but anyone who runs vocal provision for children in school, then please get them to come along and just pass the details around. Same thing to sign up, musicservice@entrust-ed.co.uk, and we'll add you onto the place. Thank you ever so much for being with us, everyone, and we'll see you next week, if not before. Thanks and take care.
Thanks, Kathy. Brilliant.
Pleasure.
And I've just found my